Okay, guys, Pastor Ken here again, episode 3 of the prayer devotional that I wanted to share with y'all. And we are moving on. We're in Matthew 6. We already looked at the fact that in verse 9, Jesus says, "In this manner, therefore pray." He doesn't say, hey, memorize these words and say them over and over so that they will come true. We are not like the religions of the world. We don't have mantras that we say. This is not a magic spell that you can speak things into existence. Jesus says, "In this manner, therefore pray." Like, hey, here are the bullet points for the prayers in your life, right? So we looked last time at the rest of verse 9 there. "Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name." And we talked about this wonderful, beautiful dichotomy of our Father, our Daddy, our spiritual dad that we can just come to with the desires of our heart. And so we are that close to him, and we should take advantage of that. But at the same time, hallowed be your name. God deserves glory and honor and respect just because he is who he is. So yes, we are close and we're tight and we are family, and don't ever lose that concept. But at the same time, don't lose the concept that he is God. So now as we move into verse 10, we're actually going to, now that the context has been set, we're going to move into, hey, here are the things that we want to ask for from God. Bullet point number 1, verse 10, "Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Rolls right off the tongue. It's easy to say, right? Listen, this may shake a few of you. This is actually a very hard thing to pray for. A very difficult thing once you really look at what it means. See, back when I was lost and thought I was saved, it was easy for me to say that Jesus died for the sins of the world. On that grandiose scale, in light of the world and all the sin in it. Yeah, I could see, man, this was an awful place and there were a lot of really bad people in it, and Jesus had to die to save us from that. But it wasn't until I made that personal and brought it down onto my level and thought, oh, Jesus died for my sins. It wasn't until then that I actually got saved. And so I want to look at this verse in the exact same way. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Worldwide, yes, I want God's will to be done. I want his kingdom to come in the government, in our healthcare system, in our legal system, in all of those things, those really big, grandiose things. Again, I'm like Miss America here. I want world peace, right? So it's easy to say and it's easy to pray with that context. But what if I make it personal? You ever thought of that? What is God's will for my life? What is God's will for your life? What does it mean to pray, "Your kingdom come, your will be done," just like it is in heaven, in regards to me, right here and right now? It's a little different spin, right? But that's what it means. His will is all inclusive. It's not just the world. It's the world and everybody in it. And so what does "on earth as it is in heaven" mean? Well, think about God's will in heaven. We studied Revelation a little while back, and we saw that he has complete dominion over everything there. Everything goes the way that he wants it to go. There's no argument. There's no alternative. There's no hindrance of any kind. Well, wow, what would that look like in my life? What would that look like in your life today? Scripture tells us this is a discipleship thing. He desires that we be disciples. He desires that we have the peace that passes understanding. Yes. He desires that we understand the lyrics of the songs Amazing Grace and Blessed Assurance and all of that. He wants us to have that ability to have the hope that he has set aside for us, that he has ordained for us. Yes. So yes, I want his will to be done in my life in that. I want to have perfect peace as I look forward towards heaven and knowing that that's coming, and all the strength and all the peace and all the joy that brings. I want that. That is his will, I believe. But what else is his will? Jesus tells us, deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow me. We've been teaching this series on discipleship. We talked about that a lot. Deny yourself. Stop running your life. Stop making all your own decisions. Take up your cross. What does that mean? Do that thing that may be painful for you. Not just hard, it might be painful for you. But that thing that is painful for you, to be a blessing to somebody else. Isn't that what the cross was to Jesus? Didn't he endure something horrific for me and for you? Why did he do it? It was the will of the Father. He said, I always submit to the will of the Father. That's why I'm here. See, I think that's why I'm here too, to submit to the will of the Father. I think it's the only reason for us to all still be here once we are saved. Why can't we just go to heaven? Because we're still here to do the will of the Father. Deny ourselves, take up our crosses, and follow Jesus, showing that agape love to the rest of the world. Listen, this might be a dangerous prayer for some of us, but this is the model that Jesus gives us. Hey, before you ask for anything else, he says, at the top of the list, after you've established the context for who you're talking to and who you are, he's your Father and you're the child. After you had that context, then move on to, Father, may your will be done. May your kingdom come in my life without argument, without hesitation, without alternative, without hindrance of any kind from me. Listen, that's plenty to work on for today. So I look forward to being with you again. But let's all pray this prayer and let's really mean it in the context with which he gave it. All right? Love you guys. See you.